What's that? What's that? Okay, so I've been talking about this triad stuff recently, and I've probably been talking about triads for like a decade now, but whatever. So I'm looking at the real book, and I'm looking at Skylark, the Jazz Standards Skylark, which is actually in the a Japanese real book that I got when I lived in Japan. It's by Shingo Ito, Shingo. Ito, I-T-O. It's the Handbook of Jazz Standards. Looks like that. Super hip. Has a lot of songs that the real book doesn't have in it. But I think other real books eventually get these songs in. I just have the first main real book. So if you don't know what the real book is, it's just this 400-ish page, huge, thick thing called the real book. Last time I went into like Guitar Center or whatever, I don't even think they had it. I don't know. So it's kind of weird that they didn't have it. But anyway, so I guess just write these chords down because I can't really show them easily. But the first 4 chords in the jazz song Skylark are E flat. The second chord is C7. Then F minor 7, and then B flat 7. So again, that's the first bar is E flat, then C7, and the second bar is F minor 7, and then B flat 7. So I'm assuming you know what those chords even are. So like, how do you play E flat? Well, like a bar chord, the most basic way you'd think maybe is when you first learn guitar, or for a lot of people, and for myself for the longest time, I would just play, starting on the 5 A string, going down to the 4, 3, and 2nd string, 4, 3rd, and 2nd string. I would just play 6, 8, 8, 8. But if you're talking triads, like I've been talking about lately, you could play on strings D, G, and B. You could play 5, 3, 2. 5, 3, 2, or another inversion would be 8, 8, 8. That's also an E flat, or E flat maybe, right? Or 13, 12, 11. Those are the 3 different inversions of that major triad that you can play on the, assuming that you're playing on the D, G, and B. I'm sorry, the T, B. D, G, and B strings, the 4th, 3rd, and the 2nd string. Okay, of course, I guess if you were playing on the G, B, and 1 E strings, you could play 3, 4, 3. That's an E flat. Or you could play 8, 8, 6. There's another inversion. Or you could play 12, 11, 11. But anyway, so what I'm doing here, what I sat down to do today, is go through this tune Skylark and play just the G, the 3G and the 2B string throughout the whole song. So this is the way I'm thinking. So first chord E flat. So think of chords, triads that you could make on the D, G, and B strings. So that first one, let's say you got that 5, 3, 2. So I'm just going to be playing the 3 and the 2, because I'm only going to be playing the G and B strings. So there's an E flat. Then you got a C7. You could go to 5, 5. Or you could go to a 5, 3. I'm sorry, yeah, right? No, 3, 5. So you could go, for the E flat, you could go 3, 4, and then 3, 5 for that C7. So, and then you could go to like a 5, 6 for the F minor 7. And then you could go to like a 7, 6 for the B flat 7. So you would have Now some of this, so like another way you could do it, for example, is because some of these chords, at least in this Japanese real book, there's not sevens in every chord. So like, let's say for the E flat, you do your 3 and 4 fret there, we're still on the G and B strings. Then you could do like a C7 by playing just a C major on the 5/5. Then you could just slide one finger up so it's 5/6 for that F minor 7. And then you could slide one finger a whole step up so you got that 7/6 for the B flat 7. So you could be like, or you could, again you can go. So that's just one way of doing it. I mean, you might do it up here, like E flat, so you got 12 and 11. And then for your C, you could do 12, 13. And then you could do your 13, 13. For your F minor 7, then you could do 10, 11 for your B flat 7, which, so it would be like. And of course, you can do it different ways. You can go. Or actually, really, I mean, you could go 12, 11 for your E flat, 12, 13 for your C 7. Then you could go 13, 13 for both your F minor 7 and for your B flat 7, which would actually be a B flat 9 though. Like on your D, G, and B strings, it would be 12, 13, 13. So it could be like. So it's all about voice leading, where you're making the smallest movements possible, right? So, and it's you can think in terms of major, minor, triads or whatever, or you could think of their 7-chord triad. So like, I guess this is something I might have said in the beginning, but anyway, let's take so C7. How would you do a C7 triad in those inversions? So like, you could be like, and this is the D, G, and B strings. You could be like 5, 3, 5. That's a C7 inversion, as opposed to like a C. I'm sorry, that's a C7 triad. A C triad could just be like 5, 5, 5, but this is 5, 3, 5. The next C7 would be like 8, 9, 8. And then you got a 14, 12, 11. So that's some foreshadowing. I'll get into more of that soon enough. But like, as you can see, you just want to totally be spending time like let's say, again, the cycle of fifths. So let's say you start with C. So C, then what's a fourth away from C? Do, re, mi, fa, that's F. What's a fourth away from that? Do, re, mi, fa, that's B flat. The next one is do, re, mi, flat. So the reason I say that is because let's start with C. Let's say you were doing the D, G, and B strings, the Dom 7 triads. So let's say C first. So you go 5, 3, 5, 3, 4, 8, 9, 8, 3, 4. Then you got 14, 12, 11. Okay, so we just did C Dom 7. Now it would go to F Dom 7. Maybe you could even go backwards. So you could be like 10, 8, 10, 7, 5, 4, and then you got 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So we did that with C Dom 7, F Dom 7. Now it's B flat Dom 7. 2, 3, 4. You got 3, 1, 3. 3, 1, 3, 3, 4. Then you got 6, 7, 6. And then you got 12, 10, 9. So you go through that in the cycle of this until you know this ish inside and out. And yes, it takes a while, but then you start to see, oh my God, like I get why I need to know this now. This is changing my whole game. Anyway, leave comments, ask questions, all that stuff. Yeah.